ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, X-Wing players, and anyone who is potentially interested in X-Wing or other Star Wars games. Welcome to our channel. This is a channel that is dedicated to the games in the Star Wars universe. My call sign is BatMando. If you are new to X-Wing, then this is the channel to watch, and if you are getting back into 2.5, then this is the place to be. Now, if you have any different insights than what we present in this video, then please feel free to drop a comment below, because the more our new players learn from other people's insights, the better they become. So, in which case, that leads me to our next point, and that is, welcome to our Star Wars X-Wing community. So, if you are brand new to this game, I will tell you that in our area where I play, there are already pilots, aka players, that are willing to help other players get into the game, get better at the game, because let's face it, the first couple of games, or the first 3 or 4 weeks of the game, are going to be rough because you're learning a whole new thing and everything else. So in which case, this is why we encourage you to get with veteran players or other players, and in which case, just learn from them, take their advice. And if you still need more, then this is what this channel is here for. So in which case, we welcome you to our community, and this is a ongoing series, and this series is about list building.
Greetings, pilots. This is Commander Orrin, here with a follow-up on the TIE Fighter Starfighter orientation video, and we're going to do a form-up session. So we're just going to be talking about some of the squads that I would utilize TIE LN fighters in, and you're going to be seeing the pilots that we mentioned in the Starfighter orientation video, as well as some of my other favorite pilots. Naturally, as a player, you tend to find your favorite ships, so you'll see sort of some of my biases and my favorite ships, but I will do my best to talk about the general doctrine and idea of these lists so that you can also plug and play with your favorite pilots. This is our second example list. So as you can see, we have Soontir again, because Soontir is my favorite ace to play. And I always like to have a pilot skill 6, just somebody who you can keep on the back burner, let the initial engagement happen, and then let your 6 hunt down priority targets. And we still have Mauler, but this is the Battle of Yavin version. As we discussed, the Battle of Yavin version is a little different because he runs with Backstabber. Backstabber costs 4 points, so it makes the duo a little bit more expensive than other Mauler and Scourge, but you get an extra hull, which this is a glitch, it's showing 3 when it's supposed to be 4. But you get an extra hull, as well as built-in Predator and built-in Afterburners, and then you also get Backstabber with 4 hull and Afterburners and Crackshot. So the point of this list is kind of like taking the previous list, but you're spreading out the threat saturation. Because instead of just Vader and Soontir and 3 3-point ships, we spread Vader's points out a little bit. So we upgraded the TIEs to their 4 health Battle of Yavin versions, and they're a little bit more consistent because they just have to fly next to each other to get 3 attack dice, instead of the other 2 TIE versions where they have to have specific conditions to get their 3rd attack die. And then instead of 1 really powerful TIE Advanced, we have 2 excellent, but not quite as powerful TIE Advanceds. So we have Merrick Steel with Predator, Marksmanship, Fire Control System, and Cluster Missiles. And again, with Advanced Targeting Computer, and Predator, and Marksmanship, and Fire Control System, Merrick is just really good at target locking something and getting a ton of crits. And his ability is really nasty. While you perform an attack, if the defender would be dealt a face-up damage card, instead draw 3 damage cards, choose 1, and discard the rest. So he's nasty. He'll deal 2 to 3 or even all 4 crits on you, and then any crit that is dealt to you, you get to choose out of 3 cards which crit is dealt to them. So you're just fishing for direct hits or fuel leaks or the nastiest thing you can imagine. So Merrick's great. And Juno can just have a linked boost action. TIE Advanced don't normally boost, but she can do an action and then do a red boost. And they're also both pilot skill 5. So again, you can see my overall playstyle is I want a 6, and I want as many 5s as possible because if you have any pilot skill 4s, 3s, 2s, or 1s, my list is just going to bully you. We'll shoot you first, we'll deal a ton of damage, and you'll probably be dead before you get to shoot back. That in general is my playstyle, so you're going to see that a lot with these lists. So let's start with Hellrunner. And then we're going to add Iden. We're going to have both of our support ties that we love and cherish. And then we're going to take... Nope, wrong ship. And then we're going to take Gideon and Sane from earlier. So Gideon, and we'll put a shield upgrade on him, as well as our two favorite talents. Say it with me, everybody. Predator and Marksmanship. And then we'll add Sane, because Sane is Gideon's partner in crime. She'll get him that face down damage so that he can get his extra attack die. And she just needs Marksmanship and shield upgrade. So here we have what we'll call a block of ties, because you'll normally fly them in a square. And it's a block formation. And it is 2 support ties and 2 damage dealer ties. And this is a great combo, because you have Gideon and Sane fly in the front to deal the damage. And then Hellrunner will buff all 4 of these ships with the extra reroll. And Iden can save one of them from dying. Ironic. She could save others from death, but not herself from becoming a rebel. Anyway. So this is a great, I really like flying block formations of ties. Even just 4 is really great if you have Hellrunner and Iden. Because this is nasty. Not to mention the fact that they all have shield upgrades. So there's essentially a 5th TIE fighter in this formation, health-wise. You basically have to chew through 5 TIE fighters instead of just 4. 6 if you include Iden. Because you could one-shot a TIE, she'll pop her charge, and it's essentially like you killed a 6th TIE fighter. So these 4 TIE fighters almost have the combat power of 6. And then we have 6 points left. So you can add any 6-point ship that you want. The best example is going to be that Battle of Yavin Vader. But you could also add, you don't have to add 1 6 ship. You could also add 2 more 3-point ships. Like the quick build Tomax Bren. Which, he's got plasma torpedoes, ion bombs, true grit. And then we can add another 3-point ship. Like... I think it might actually have to be another bomber. Like Major Rhymer. So now you can have your block of 4 ties, and then you could run these 2 bombers together. But there's all kinds of combinations that you can do with TIE fighters. And we'll see if it messes with this other list again. But our final example is just the good old TIE Swarm. So, we're taking our block of... I think it actually worked. So, we're going to take our block of ties, and we're going to add more bodies to it. I think the minimum amount of ships for a proper swarm is 6. But to make a proper swarm, you want 7. Most squadrons in the 2.5 meta are 4 or usually 5 ships. So if you fly a quote-unquote swarm that's only 6 ships, you don't really have that many bodies against them, and you're not going to overwhelm them with just 1 extra TIE fighter. So that's why I think it's worth it to have 3 2-point ties, just to be extra bodies, because these guys will all benefit from Hellrunner's reroll. They'll give you that many more attacks, and it's just that many more bodies to control the board with. The reason I picked Gideon and Sane over Mauler, Mythil, and Scourge, because if you think about it, Mauler, Mythil, and Scourge are pilot skill 5, and they're going to deal more damage likely, but Gideon and Sane have shield upgrades. So which means they'll make the swarm more survivable. The whole point of the swarm is just to charge and fight, and then hopefully win the objectives after you kill a bunch of stuff in the initial engagement. So Mauler and Scourge don't necessarily want to fly in a swarm as much because they're fragile. They'll take 3 hits and die, whereas Gideon and Sane can survive a little longer with the shield upgrade plus Iden, and they'll still benefit from Hellrunner's rerolls just the same. So this is an example of the kind of TIE Swarm that I would fly. Again, if you only have 6 TIE fighters, you could do just, we could add Mauler and Scourge for sure to make a nice 6-point, I think. Yeah, to make a nice 6-point swarm. So if we want to go all named, you have this would also be very fun because you have Howlrunner in the middle of the swarm in the back, Mauler and Scourge on either side of her, and then in the front row you have Iden, Gideon, and Sane. So all the pilot skill 4s activate in the front, and all the pilot skill 5s activate in the back. And this would also be a very deadly swarm. But I don't think this really counts as a swarm. This is a squad. This is a squadron. And I think it'll be much easier for your opponent to just knock out one of these ships, pop Iden's charge, knock out another ship, and then you're fighting 5v5 against probably tougher, more powerful ships than TIE LN fighters. That was my Starfighter Form Up video where we talked about squadron building based on the TIE LN fighter. Please leave us a comment to let us know if there were any TIE pilots that are your favorite that I missed. The problem with TIE LN fighters is there's so many great pilots for it. Almost all of them have a good ability, if not a great ability. And the Battle of Endor pack that just came out gave us even more awesome TIE LN pilots. But I wanted to highlight the ones that I have used consistently and have experience with, and as well as the ones that matched up with the archetypes that we talked about. So feel free to leave us a comment, let us know what you think, and we'll see you next time. Long live the Empire.
Other things that we would like you to build upon is, well, we got online resources for you to check out so that you can build your knowledge about the game. And what I will tell you is we have the official AMG website right there. So now, if you're looking for other things, or if one of our hosts mentioned something that you're not familiar with, go ahead and get that term, plug it into this fandom 2nd edition, and it will pop up what it is that you're looking for. Also, feel free to check out other fan-made sources that will also help you along the way. And if you are trying to figure out which list builder to use to build your squadron, check out any of these 3. So, in which case, next thing, hopefully we helped you out, so we would very much appreciate it if you help us out and click like on the videos that you like. That way we know what more videos to create more of. Don't forget to subscribe to our future transmissions and tell a friend about us so that we can get this channel a little bit further out and more people can start playing the game. So, without further ado, thank you so very much for watching. Thank you to our hosts for being a part of this. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram. Don't forget to friend us on Facebook. I haven't said no to anybody yet. And make certain to drop any questions or drop a comment below in our comment section on this video. That way other people can see what questions have been asked and see what answers have been given. I'd also like to say thank you to SlidesGo, Flat Icon, and FreePick for the use of their media in this presentation. And as always, BatMando out.